Thanksgiving's coming. Usually that means roast turkey. We're gonna take everything that everyone loves about Kentucky Fried Chicken, that crunch, that crisp, that like just juiciness, and we're gonna do that to Thanksgiving turkey basically. It's gonna be a nice little mashup, right? So not a whole turkey, and not Kentucky Fried Chicken, Kentucky Fried Turkey. So we've got this whole process. It's broken up into a few steps. You can do some of the steps days in advance, hours in advance. There's nothing here that's last minute. You can have this whole thing done, holding warm, crunchy, juicy, ready for Thanksgiving. We've got this whole thing just like on lock for you. It's gonna be really, really amazing Kentucky Fried Turkey this year. This year we're gonna go with kind of like the butterball-ish kind of turkey. Good news is you can go with any turkey you want. So if you've got like a friend down the street who raises turkeys, go for that one. If you shot it yourself, congratulations. Those free-range turkeys, they're skinny. They're skinny. There's kind of two goals here. One, we're gonna separate white meat, dark meat. The other goal, we're actually gonna take the skin off. We've just got a better crust, better like crunch and eating experience if we get rid of the skin. We're not gonna throw it away. We're gonna put it in the jus. We're gonna put it in stock. You can chop it up and put it in biscuits, whatever you wanna do with it. We've got a lot of different butchery videos for turkey on ChefSteps now at this point. If you haven't seen the yakitori one, go check it out. It's insane. Okay, so if you buy a whole turkey and butcher it yourself, this is what you're gonna end up with. So this is all like the sauce stuff, like from this side over, you know, the wing tips, skin, little tail, a couple bones, neck, giblets, and then all the carcass. So here's the part that's gonna make our Kentucky Fried Turkey though. But this is it. Starts right here. This is ready for cooking. We're gonna bag it up, cook it sous vide. And then after this, we're gonna cut it up into 24-piece Kentucky Fried Turkey bucket. I already made a mess, I already butchered it, so I'm gonna season everything right here. We're gonna use our Kentucky Fried Chicken seasoning that Kyle kind of reverse engineered. So, recipes on chefsteps.com, duh. I don't need to dig into this too much. Little seasoning. I'll give you another tip and trick demo. Here's what happens when you pinch close. Here, look, that's like 1 inch. Here's, 6 inches. Here's 1 foot. Check it out, same thing. A little more even, right? Easy. We're gonna put the thighs in a bag. We're gonna put the breasts in the bag. And then all these like bone-in things, we're gonna put in a different bag. That gives you more control on, pulling something out sooner or later too. Doing a bunch of R&D on sous vide turkey at Modernist Cuisine years ago, and it never really occurred to me. I was doing like short cooks, low temperature, and I'd be like, man, it's still so dry. And then I do really long cooks, hot temperature, and it's really dry. And it's pretty rare, I think, pretty uncommon you find a cut of meat that's super lean and super tough. It's kind of like brisket or something, but brisket can be really fatty too. Like there's not much even collagen in breast meat, which means it benefits from a really low and controlled temp, like a rare temperature, like 130, 140, something like that, Fahrenheit, for a long period of time. That way any juice that's in there, you keep it. But basically that's what we're doing here. So we've got our few different bags of turkey cooked. They're ready. If you want to nail the temperatures and the textures just right, lots more on ChefSteps. You can cook everything the same time. You can cook everything a little bit different time if you want it to be real perfect. But again, check that out on the site. Lots of information there. It smells delicious, and it's super tender. While it's hot, I'm gonna take the meat out of the bag and put it on a tray, and then we're gonna chill it. Taking it out while it's hot is gonna dry out the surface, which is gonna give you a better bond when we go into the flour, the dredging, and the frying, right? And it's gonna give you a better crust too. So part of this is desiccating that surface a little bit. I'm gonna keep this for gravy and sauce. Each bag's gonna have a little bit of that. You'll probably be ready for dredging in about an hour, but you can also do it like a day or two in advance. So this is one of those opportunities between the steps you can kind of move time around like that. So I'm gonna pop it in the fridge. So we've got these big chunks here, and if you really want maximum juiciness and crunchiness, and everybody's getting a little bit of dark meat, white meat, and you want it to fry quickly and evenly, that's where portioning comes in handy, right? So everything's basically about the same thickness or dimensions. And again, this is, was a 12-pound, 14-pound turkey, because we're going for like 24 pieces. Once you fry this thing, once you bread it, dredge it, and fry it, it's gonna be a lot bigger. And I want my pieces to fry evenly. I'm gonna turn each one of these into like 6 pieces. How simple is that? They're portioned, they're ready for dredging. Home stretch, almost on our way to frying. We're taking a traditional dredging process, right? So you've got dry, wet, dry, then it goes right into the fryer. And we're gonna tweak it, level it up with a few other additions. We're gonna do cornstarch for extra crispiness and lightness. We're gonna do baking soda for even more lightness because it's gonna react to the acid, right? And we're gonna get even a lacier crisp. And it's also going to make the crust darker and give us like a more complex Maillard reaction that's gonna be tastier. And then we're gonna also add some Trisol. Trisol is going to actually help it stay less oily, and it's gonna help it stay crispier longer. In addition to that, it's going to keep the crust closer to the meat. Meat crunch, every little bite. Let's get going. Let's actually dredge this stuff and fry this stuff and make some turkey. You can under dry mix it, but you can't over dry mix it, I'm gonna take some of this and just keep it on the side in the bowl. If we want more, we just add more, you know what I mean? It's the moment of truth. This is when we make it fried. We've got our dry mix, got our meat, got our oil on standby. We need some buttermilk. First things first, take our nice little bits, get them in here, get them nice and coated. And we're gonna do a really good job trying to dust off extra in another minute, but I want this first bit of dry to stick to it for, a good few minutes or so. So let's get all these pieces in here. Don't have to be precious about this part. Just wanna make sure it's all coated. God, I love the way flour feels. It's so cozy in here. Before we put it in the buttermilk, we want to make sure each piece gets nice and clean as far as that flour goes. Because if you throw it in here and you got big chunks, what's going to happen is big piles of this flour is not going to hydrate, and then it's going to come off later, even in the fryer, even in your mouth. Not only will you have kind of raw flour, but it just won't stick. That's when it starts to slide off. So this first bit is kind of your glue layer. I know we've been talking about turkey this whole time, but need I remind you all these amazing tips and tricks? You can do the exact same thing with chicken to give it a little shake and a pat. Buttermilk. Again, this is the part sitting in here. Now it's starting to hydrate even more. And that baking soda is going to start reacting as soon as it gets in there. I'm trying to clean this all up into one big step, but you can do 6 pieces at a time. Not everybody has big trays, big giant bowls and all that sort of stuff, so. But I would do 6, 7, 8 pieces, fry them, 6, 7, 8 pieces, fry them. As long as it's coated, and let it hang out for a second. One of the things Kyle kind of sorted out when he was frying the chicken is take a little bit of the wet and fold it into the dry now that we're at this stage. And that'll give you more of those craggly dry bits. So it's not like a nice, perfect, even coating. You'll have more of those waves and craggles, right? Kind of like cutting butter into pie dough, and you can work those flakes. So get some buttermilk in there. You wouldn't want to pour it, because each one of these little raindrops is hitting its own little spot of batter. Oh yeah, baby. You can feel them hitting your fingers like all these little lumps. Those are gonna be nice little lumpy, crunchy, crunchy. I got my little flour playpen. I'm gonna keep some flour off to the side over here. Start with these big guys. So right out of the buttermilk, right into flour. Same thing, just keep going. Okay, a few more minutes here, and we're going into the fryer. All right, 370 degrees. Got our turkey over here. Got our little drip tray over here. Got a spider. This is a huge pot. Not everybody has a huge Dutch oven cast iron pot this big. I get it. If you got a smaller one, fry a couple less pieces at a time, you know? Not a big deal. Before we get going, we've got a whole video that you gotta check out. It's like the science and physics of deep frying, especially around chicken. One of the things we talk about is new oil versus old oil. So from some of the past fryer trials we have, this is just, you know, a little bit of old oil, and that'll kind of jumpstart a lot of the reactions we want to help get a darker crust, right? Again, more at ChefSteps. Without further ado, I'm gonna start frying. Here we go. Whoop! Oh, beautiful. I'm watching my temperature over here. I've got 4 or 5 pieces, a couple big ones of those drums. I've gone from like 370 to 350. I'm gonna not drop any more pieces in right now. This is basically like a sear fry. We're not frying from raw, right? It's already cooked, it's already juicy. I wanna keep all that juice in the meat, so I don't wanna overcook it. So the goal here is just to heat up the meat just enough in that 2-3 minutes to get that nice deep, dark, craggly crust on the outside. So you gotta get rid of all the water in the crust and then get some caramelization, get some Maillard reaction in addition to that without overcooking the meat. That's where we're going for here. So, you know, 2-3 minutes should be golden. Looking pretty good. I can already feel it getting crunchy. Oh, craggly. Some oil's at 340. That's normal. Don't panic. But if I put 2-3 more pieces in there, it might even drop below 300. Might take a lot longer to heat up, and that's when you start to get soggy, you know, soggy crust. So don't overcrowd your fryer. But this is where this recipe is like so great. You can fry 4 pieces, let them hang out, let the oil recover, fry a few more, have a glass of wine, have some whiskey. Dude, that's already so crunchy. I'm already tricked. It feels like Kentucky Fried Chicken, but it's turkey. Nice color, nice craggles. We've got our little seasoning blend here. While it's nice and hot and like a little greasy, you can get a little bit more on the outside. I'm excited to dig into that. That's looking pretty good. It's like iconic. Iconic for this brand new thing. It's already iconic. Oh yeah. Resist the urge to eat it right now. Give it a couple minutes. Okay, I'm gonna cheat and eat this nugget. Look at that little craggly guy. That's a total, I can't believe it's not chicken. I think you OG folks, you OG ChefSteps fans are gonna like this one. Trisol's worth having in your pantry. Good job, Kyle and Nick. That's a spot-on recipe. We've gotten all the way to the end of our Kentucky Fried Turkey journey, from butchery to cooking to the whole dredging, breading, and frying. And now this turkey's been hanging out for, you know, an hour or so right now. It's cooled off. You know, from here I just kind of want to like dig into it, show you guys like, did we get to where we wanted to end up? I think, let's see which one. Oh, I tricked myself. That's a wing. I want to show you a breast, or lightning. There we go. You can actually see like how juicy it is. Juicy, juicy, juicy. And I can even see juice right on the surface there. But right on the outside of that, it's crunchy. We pulled it off. That's so good. It's amazing, you know, how many years mankind has suffered through traditional roast turkey at the dinner table, and now you don't have to anymore, because you can Kentucky fry your turkey every year from here on out forever. This is the ChefSteps Nashville hot. A little different than like some of the Nashville hot, which is just like chili oil basically. Also recipe on ChefSteps. Is that too hot? The chef behind the camera is saying like, don't put that in his mouth, it's pretty hot. Now I'm scared, but it smells so good. It smells sweet. It's sweet. It's sweet. Whatever, I'm gonna try it actually. Am I gonna like really regret this, Kyle?
No, you're good. It is spicy.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely like the centerpiece for me this year. Super juicy, super tender, super crunchy. Lasts a long time once you're done. You can move time around, it's super convenient. This is it, Kentucky Fried Turkey, man.